Hello and welcome to NexusTalk. I'm Neela and we're absolutely thrilled to have you with us today for another episode of NexusTalk. This is where we bring together diverse stories, experiences, perspectives, and ideas of Afghan women, whether in Afghanistan or abroad. Today we have a truly special guest with us. She's an artist whose work has captured the hearts and minds of people around the globe. Joining us today is Sara Barackzay, the first female animator of Afghanistan and an extraordinary artist currently residing in Vancouver, BC. She has 2 degrees from animation from Turkey and Canada. Sara, it's such a pleasure having you here. Welcome to the show.
Thanks, Neela, for inviting me. I hope you are doing well. It is an honor to be here and have an interview with you. Hi, everyone. I hope you are doing well, and I hope you enjoy our program.
Thanks, Sara-Jen. So let's dive into your art. Your art is deeply moving and carries so much emotional weight. To begin, I'd love to hear about your journey into the world of art. What first inspired you to pick up a brush or a stylus? Was there like a particular moment in your life that sparked this passion?
Well, when I was around 2 years old, my life started to be really challenging. So I lost my hearing when I was around 2 years old. Then my world and everything was silent. So when I used to see the situation around myself, and when I couldn't find anything to express my feeling or talk with anyone, especially with my Balkan people, so I was trying to find a way to express what I want to explain or to communicate with my people and everyone. Then I started looking at the pictures on the walls, at the books and everywhere, and I used to go to my grandparents' library and look at the pictures in each book. And my uncle used to paint on the walls, so that attracted me to do something with them. And I started to hold a brush and paint with my uncle on the walls, on the rocks, even on my dolls, everything. I think that was the way that I could express my feeling, and also I can connect myself to the world around me. Well, when I grew up, then around 6 or 7 years, I was drawing on the side of window. Then I heard a scream. Then I looked at outside. Taliban were like pouring boiled water on Burqa women. And when I saw that, that made me really upset and mad. And from that day, I was like, I have to take revenge. And I have to do something that they really don't like it. So that was the point that I really wanted to do something. Art was a good device for me to change the society.
That's amazing. It's such a powerful story. I have heard about that incident, Taliban doing that in a movie, but to see that and realize that must be very heart touching. But it takes bravery to share it with us.
Thank you.
So as you began to explore your creativity in art, were there any particular artists or movements that inspired you? I think you already answered this question a little bit, but where did you take inspiration from in the beginning of your journey of art? You mentioned your grandfather, but were there any other stuff?
That is a good question. I didn't have anyone to inspire me at the beginning, but mostly I was inspired a lot by pictures in the book. Although we didn't have that much library or equipment in Afghanistan, but the buildings, the castle, miniature artwork, very traditional artwork of Herat city, which Herat is very traditional old city in Afghanistan. So that inspired me a lot. And then when I tried to join for art class when I was around 10 years old, my teacher helped me a lot. In the beginning, they didn't accept me because I was a girl, so I was the first girl who entered a male domain art or skill in Afghanistan. But after I entered, they were impressed a little bit. Also, sometimes they were against of me, but I tried really hard to learn something. So my teacher helped me a lot to learn painting, and I really appreciate that. I hope I can meet him again, and his name is Muhammad Khairi. I hope he's doing well right now.
So you mentioned in one of your interviews that you faced a great deal of resistance to your career, as you mentioned a little bit right now, even from a young age. You mentioned this is a male-dominated world, which doesn't seem like it in like other countries, but for Afghanistan, of course, yeah. But as a young artist in Afghanistan, what were some of the challenges you faced in pursuing your passion, and how did you overcome them?
Well, when I started to paint and draw, I didn't have much support, except my dad sometimes, but they were also in fear. They were like, you shouldn't go for art because it's very dangerous for Afghanistan. Then the most challenging that I faced, it was because I tried to teach for other girls. And when I started to learn professionally the painting, when I was around 11 years old, I tried to teach for other girls. Then I held classes in Herat and sometime in my home. So I had so many people against of me, especially Taliban and some religious people in my city. They were like, art is not for women, and you should sit in home, you should do something else because it's for men, not like for women. But that made me really upset, and I couldn't stay at home and like doing nothing. So I tried to teach for other girls and help them to get powerful. So when I tried to help classes, they used to follow us and to read us. They were like, you have to close your classes and sometimes attack to our classes. But I tried to keep doing that, but under basement, like in the basement of Afghanistan and not in public.
Yeah.
So I try to do that every year, and we have so many challenges like this. The thing is, the other challenge was like we didn't have equipment for art, and we didn't have like computers, especially for learning animation, this kind of stuff. So there are so many other challenges as well.
So I like this question myself because it's what makes you unique as well. But growing up in Afghanistan, how did your cultural heritage influence your early work? And are there any like elements of Afghan art or tradition that you consciously incorporate into your pieces, your art pieces?
So the culture and tradition of Afghanistan was very attractive to me. I really like it, and I was like, I have to reflect the beauty of our country to the world and to everyone. So hopefully they can see it one day. So that was the biggest reason for me to start animating and painting, because I can reflect them through drawing and painting and making animation about it, especially about my own city. I didn't travel in most of cities, but sometimes like for Kabul, Kandahar, when I saw like the building, the castle, all tradition, outfit, food, everything, I was like, everyone should see that and everyone should experience that tradition and the good food in Afghanistan. So that was the biggest inspiration and motivation for me to learn doing something traditional in my own way, putting them in the modern art of today.
Thank you so much for sharing that, Sara Jan. We'll take a short break now, but when we return, we'll delve further into your work on ground in Afghanistan. So stay with us. Welcome back to Nexus Talk. We're here with the incredibly talented Sara Barackzay. Sara, you were teaching graphic design and animation to young students in different cities of Afghanistan every summer when you would return for your summer breaks. Would you tell us more about that?
Okay. After finishing high school, I earned animation scholarship in Turkey. So that was the biggest miracle for me because that was my dream. So when I went to Turkey and started animation, I was like, I don't want to be the first and last animator, female animator in Afghanistan. So I tried to found Afghan Girls Animation Team, AGAT, at 2013 in Herat. So when I started, it was very impressive because the girl really wanted to come and learn about animation and graphic design. So that inspired me and motivated me to keep doing and keep teaching. Maybe I was like, I had to hold classes for each city, online and face-to-face, so everyone can come and use that benefit for learning animation and graphic design. So although I was studying animation university in Turkey, so I tried to use my holiday during summer to teach for other girls and to keep having service for them. Then during each summer break, I try to hold around 5 or 6 classes. Then I held about 25 classes in each city, online and also face-to-face. So I had around 400 students. All of them were girls in Afghanistan. So that motivated me and also the president of Afghanistan to start an animation university in the University of Kabul. The Ashraf Ghani gave me a land. So he was very supportive. He said, you can start an animation university in Herat. I was very happy to start and I was very excited. I was preparing and even I designed the architecture building and everything about the Kabul University for animation university. Then the day that I supposed to go for Kabul, one day before that, unfortunately, one group of Taliban came to my home. They had a gun and they put gun on my head and my dad's head, and also they killed my dog. I had a dog which was a very young dog, a first beautiful one. They killed my dog and they said, if you're going to start animation university at Kabul University, we are going to kill you like your dog. So during that moment, everyone was in despair, and even my dad tried to defend, but they pushed us and they left the house with the dead body of my dog. And they said, we are coming back and we will follow you. So that day, I received a call from president and they said, we can't protect you. You are in danger. You have to leave as soon as possible from Afghanistan. I didn't know what to do. Yeah. I had, fortunately, the Turkish residence, so I went back to Turkey, but my family were hiding in another place. So that's why I couldn't keep doing that. Yeah.
That must take a lot of bravery to do. I'm so sorry you went through that.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I read in one of your interviews that you had a dream to build first animation studio and University in Afghanistan. I think that captures one of the stories that you just told us. Yeah. When did this dream shape you and what happened to it?
I didn't give up. I just waited for a year. I was like, maybe they will forget for what I did. I was like, maybe they need time, that maybe they will leave, maybe Afghanistan going to be in good situation. So I tried to add to my skills and work in Turkey for a year. And I worked in animation and graphic design company. Then I went back to Afghanistan. But unfortunately, they found me again. And I used to receive so many texts from Twitter, LinkedIn, phone, and I tried not to use internet and data, but unfortunately I had to run away again from my own country to another country, which was Iran. So I was hiding here, but the good thing is that during that time, because I had an interview with Guardian and so many other, I received animation scholarship from different countries, from USA, France, Poland, and Canada. I really didn't want it to leave, but I also have no other option because I had to survive somehow. And I was really desperate during that moment. Then I came to Canada to the scholarship at 2021.
Nice. Such a long journey and such inspiring. That takes me to one of the more difficult questions. Feel free to not answer it if you don't feel comfortable, but how did you feel when you learned about the fall of Kabul? And where were you then?
Well, because I already fell because fall of Kabul. So I was desperate, but when I heard about fall of Kabul, I was in really bad situation. I cried like for a month. When I came to Canada, I was in the flight. Then I heard about Kabul. I was crying inside the flight for a couple days, and I got depression for 3 months, and I tried to at least survive, and I was thinking about my students, my family, and everyone. So I think everyone was desperate during that moment, and we were hoping maybe it will change, but unfortunately Afghanistan is getting worse every day. Yeah.
I mean, everyone did go through like a specific thing that day, and everyone's story is very different, but the shared thing is the sadness and all the dreams that were shattered, but we're still keeping that alive, having this conversation. Sarah, your work often speaks to the struggles and strength of Afghan women, especially in the context of the current situation in Afghanistan. How has the reality of the fall of Kabul and the laws that are banning girls from their basic rights affected your work?
Well, because I didn't have the option to teach and do something for the society in Afghanistan, I was like, I have to reflect the pain and everything inside the illustration and painting that I do. So when I do a painting or illustration or animation about Afghanistan, I always think about it. And because I really love my country and everyone, every Afghan, especially female, like the women, and also I know their struggles, I tried my best to reflect their pain inside my painting, even to do a portrait or maybe a nature or something. Most people can realize that most of my illustration, especially recently, kind of stressful, and they can feel the emotional feeling inside it. So I always really like to reflect the truth and everything about Afghan women and Afghan society. And also at the same time, I'm still trying to be careful and cautious not to reflect everything, because when I was in Afghanistan, whenever I used to publish an artwork, so my people really like it to publish it back. But when Taliban used to see that, they got really mad at me each time. After publishing each artwork on social media and everywhere, and sometimes they used to publish to media news in Kabul, Tulu TV. So right now, I wish I could reflect more, but I can't, because I'm trying to protect my family, my students, and everyone. Hopefully, one day we will have our own freedom whenever we are in Afghanistan or outside.
Yeah, there's only so much we can do with the laws banning girls in Afghanistan right now. So what kind of responses have you received from the Afghan community, both in Afghanistan and those who have been displaced, regarding your work, and how do these reactions shape your future work?
Well, in Afghanistan, I didn't have much support, but even support of few people could help me a lot for going and keep doing my dream, other girls' dream. Then from other countries, I had a lot of support, especially recently from Canada, especially from Vancouver Film School. The head of Vancouver Film School is James Griffin. They helped me everything. And also the company of Minion Illumination in California, they sponsor my visa and everything for bringing me to Canada. And yeah, I had so many people who supported me. I'm really grateful for them. And yeah.
That's amazing. I think like a gem like you should be supported in any way, so you deserve all the support that you have. Yeah, just have you collaborated with other Afghan artists or activists in your work, and how important is it for you to build a network of solidarity among all of the Afghan girls who are all around the world?
Yes, I collaborated with my only student, which was the biggest joy for me, because when I saw that they are in a level which can compete with me or collaborate with me, so I tried to work with them. So we made games, we made animation, and we had our own website. We made some illustration book for schools and for UNESCO, UNICEF, this kind of stuff. And also I collaborated with Malala Yousafzai, with Ruya Mahfouz, the head of robotic team, and also with Fatima Qadirian, and they were really supportive, and also that was the biggest joy for me to collaborate and work with them. Yeah.
That's amazing. Thank you for that insight. We'll take a short break now. Stay tuned as when we return, we'll continue our discussion with Sara John about her experiences settling in Canada and how this new environment has influenced her art. See you soon. Welcome back. We've been having an enriching conversation with the artist Sara Barackzay. Sara, you moved to Canada, a place that's quite different from Afghanistan. Tell us about this experience, because I've had the experience of integrating with the new community and everything that comes with that. How easy or difficult was it for you to settle here?
Well, I was lucky and I had the possibility to come here and also study school, especially in my dream career. But in same time, I felt really guilty and I'm still feeling really guilty. Why? Because I have this opportunity, but so many other girls, they are struggling in Afghanistan. They can't do anything, and when they are in despair and also they don't have their own freedom, so I can be happy. But I really appreciate the people who supporting me here, and also I really like the opportunity that I have in Canada. But I'm trying to maybe help for other girls in Afghanistan and also do something, although it's not possible, but maybe with my artwork or maybe teaching again in the future. I was hoping maybe I can teach online, but I still don't want to put them in danger. And right now, living in Canada is also not easy, especially for us from another country, from Afghanistan, because everything is different. We have to learn the culture, the people, the language, and it's not just about English, it's about their life language and everything. But I'm happy that I'm here. I like this city and this country. Vancouver is my favorite. The nature, the people are very inspiring, and it could help me to heal. But also, I know most people they are also upset for Afghan people. They are trying to help them, and I'm hoping they get successful at that purpose.
Do you find it challenging to balance your identity as an Afghan artist with your experiences in Canada? And how do you navigate the two worlds that you live in? Because I myself go through this as well as an Afghan activist, but also as a Canadian student. I'm a rising senior, so I myself have two worlds that I have to navigate. But how has that experience been for you?
Well, that is actually the biggest challenge. I guess not just for me, for most people who come to Canada and other countries. At the beginning, I tried to learn how to live in Canada and how to survive because we have to study school and the rules are strict, and also we have to learn the language and the situation in Canada and about everything. And also in the same time, I tried to connect and communicate with my own people more often, like every week with my students and ask about them, maybe have sympathy with them. So keeping that balance is really difficult, but also in the same time it can be a joy because you can be a new identity with a stronger body and mental. So you can help for the people who are here and also for yourself and also for the people who used to live together in the past, Afghanistan. So it takes time, but it's possible. I think it's really good if we keep balance and communicate with everyone we had in our life and also communicate with the people we are living right now with them. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Keeping the balance is the key to everything. So talking about your hopes and dreams, as you continue to evolve as an artist, what are your hopes for the future? And this can be both in terms of your personal artistic journey and your broader aspirations for Afghan women, especially those who, like you, have a lot of passions and are really passionate about their interests.
Well, I'm hoping that Afghanistan gets better than this situation and that women have their own freedom and maybe they can go to work and school and they can learn what they want and go for their dream. But also in the same time, I feel like it might not be possible. So that's why that is my dream also maybe to have a university or maybe animation company that can support Afghan people, especially women, and bringing them to Canada or maybe another country. Because I know so many people, they are really passionate about learning, especially artwork, animation, social media, this kind of stuff. Because we really didn't have that much opportunity to learn in Afghanistan, and also even we didn't have permission to do that because Taliban always were preventing us, and also they were like, that is a sin, women shouldn't do this kind of stuff, it's just for male. Then I'm hoping that I can have a university here specific to make it like a public university who can support people cannot people who don't have like good financial stuff, and also they want to come to this country and they want to have a scholarship, because the scholarship situation can be really hard during this time, especially for someone who doesn't know English, or maybe someone who doesn't know how to earn visa to Canada. So I'm hoping that people will hear the sound of Afghan women more, and they will pay attention to them, and maybe they will support them in the future.
Inshallah bakhair, all of that will come true.
I hope so.
So Sara Jan, I think you're a very inspiring person. I myself have been inspired by this conversation that I've had with you. So your answer would be very helpful for those listening. What advice would you give to young Afghan artists, particularly women, who are looking to express themselves and share their stories through art, specifically at a time where stories are a way to survive?
Well, because I lived in Afghanistan myself, that it was the reason that I started animation. So I suggesting everyone, especially Afghan women, that please go for your dream. I know there are so many blocks in your way, there are so many rocks, and you have so many enemies. But you don't have to pay attention to them. You have to go for something you really like. The worst thing that can happen, like, it can be that we don't go for our dream, but it's better if you go, you try for something. Especially in that situation, it's really upsetting if we don't do something. If we keep ourselves busy with something that we really like, our life worth living. So doesn't matter where or what kind of location, we have to use what we have in our hand. I think it's not just Afghan women. Everywhere in the world can be challenging, especially for women. There are so many other countries, but we know so many heroes. We know so many women. They could go for their dream, although the society wasn't good for them, and they didn't have much support. If they could do that, everyone can do that. So I'm hoping that they don't give up, and I know that Afghan women are really strong, and I believe in them. If I didn't, I would never start teaching and put myself in danger for them. I knew that they could learn very fast, and they did. I had like 400 students, and they were really talented, very smart. I really didn't expect them to learn that much fast, but they could be in high level very fast. So I think they can do whatever they want.
Mm-hmm. And I really love what you said. If other women can do it, you can do it too. If Sara can do it, so can you. So looking ahead, are there any specific projects or themes you're excited to explore in your upcoming work? Basically, what's next for Sara Barackzay?
Well, I'm trying to work in an animation industry, but unfortunately the situation is not good. But I'm working with, I'm working as an actor in a movie. The movie name is In the Room, is around 75 minutes. The director is British Ahmed. They are shooting in Vancouver, so I'm still working with them.
Wow.
But yeah, also acting is my hobby, so I really enjoy doing that.
That's amazing. This is just like a surprise for the end of the interview. Sara is not just a painter, but also an actor as well. This makes you way much cooler. Finally, this is our last question. When people look back at the work that you have done till now, what do you hope they will remember or take away from all of the work that you have done?
Well, I hope remember what kind of life Afghan women had in Afghanistan. And maybe there are going to be some struggles for the women in the future. And also, if we see the Afghan women challenges and how they work very hard and they don't give up. I know so many women, they are still going, despite everything, they are still going for dream. They are working for their own freedom, and they help each other. They support each other during that hard moment. And I'm hoping they still can remember that, and they don't forget us from their history.
Sara Jan, your story has been so inspiring. Thank you so much for sharing this and for the bravery that you've shown, the potential of Afghan girls that you demonstrate through your work every day. I myself am very thankful for all the work and the bravery that you put into your work every day. So thank you.
For you, Neela Jones, you are yourself very inspiring, and thanks for inviting me. It's an honor for me to have an interview with you.
For everyone watching, I highly recommend exploring Sara's work and following her ongoing journey as she continues to create and inspire as always. Thank you again, Sara Jan, for being with us today, and thank you to our audience for tuning in. Remember to stay engaged, stay informed, and keep the conversation going. Until next time on NexusTalk.